All right, welcome in. We got started, a little late today, but is what it is. We're live. It's Wednesday, so welcome in everybody. Dan and I in the building, and what are we gonna talk about today, Dan?
I think wanted to get into the Packers wide receiver room. We were talking on the phone earlier, and just kind of an interesting thing because there's a lot of ambiguity with just the receivers there. Like we all know that they're like five deep at the position there, and
Seven, technically.
seven deep.
Like receivers, like just
Okay, well, yeah, I mean on the roster, but I mean I feel like there's five guys that like you care about: Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, and my sleeper Bo Melton, not to be forgotten. So yeah, I mean we think the top three are Watson, Reed, and Dobbs, but a lot of people out there like Wicks, and there's been a little off-season hype about Bo Melton. I feel like he was like trending up on Sleeper for a while there. I think LaFleur had some nice comments about him. So yeah, and I mean we've seen like all these guys produce when they've been on the field and had opportunity to get snaps through injuries ahead of them or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I think it's just kind of an interesting thing to dissect and to kind of either make some bets on these guys of who's going to be the most productive, and maybe do you want to like get off some of the risk of some of these because I definitely think there's some risk in just about any of these Packers receivers. I mean, especially the ones ones that seem higher up on the depth chart right now because they're obviously the ones that hold the value. But I feel like it's definitely a wide receiver room in flux and something that could kind of change and evolve as we get into the season here and as the season goes along. So yeah, I mean, yeah, what are your thoughts about the Packers wide receiver room? I mean, who you buying, who you selling, and just kind of what do you make of it? I can't hear you, Blake.
Oh, okay, sorry. It's pretty important, like the format, of course. We're talking mostly Dynasty here. In fact, this is our Dynasty section, so I'm obviously a Dynasty. It's important to know. That's why I keep trying to cut up to go. I don't know if there's a way to sort by team, but I'll pull up like Jaden Reed. Or actually, well, I'll just scroll down to him because he's not like too far down. But he's the highest. Like wide receiver 31's like not outrageous. Certainly, and like who's going around. You literally have rookies that are, those back end first receivers ahead of him. So I don't think he's like egregiously overpriced. I just find like a lot of, I don't know, orange flags in the profile, which sometimes you can just overthink these things. And in fact, we talked a little bit about Reed last week. Amongst like Tank Dell and Addison and stuff like that. The big thing going around is like his splits with Watson. There's a lot of if you're looking at the numbers, I'm a little concerned on Reed, but the reason, like, I don't know, like the way I like to play these wide receiver rooms is like, I don't know, I'm just not convinced Reed technically is the better because like, I don't know, Christian Watson did flash better, but it was with Rodgers. Like there's a lot of like conflicting factors about like who really is the alpha or even is there one. So like the fact that we're questioning if there really is one, I kind of like Christian Watson at this price. I don't know if I'm going out of my way to actually just like go trade for him, but he's kind of like a perfect throw-in right now. So
You're right.
I'd say like I'm pretty intrigued in Christian Watson of all of them. As far as Dobbs and Wicks go, I mean, I don't know, like, I kind of think, like, if you're going to start 10, they're kind of just, like, roster cloggers. Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, Dobbs and Wicks. Yeah, I can't really disagree with that. I did have one share of Romeo Dobbs that I got on inherited on an orphan team,
Yeah.
and I traded him away pretty quickly. I was able to get a second for him, and I was thrilled with that. So I was just kind of happy to get off of him. I just don't see like a ton of upside there. I mean, you could argue he's been like reasonably productive, and he's on paper like a starting receiver in a good offense. So yeah, I could see the argument, but just doesn't seem like a ton of upside. And I wouldn't be shocked if he got replaced by Wicks or who knows? I mean, like I do think Melton is intriguing. Yeah, I mean, just to make the case for Bo Melton here. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of an intriguing guy. You wouldn't necessarily expect it like watching him, but he actually ran a really fast 40, I believe 4.34, which is crazy. I mean, I feel like he doesn't look that fast like when you watch him. Um, but he just seems kind of crafty. He just seems to find a way to get open, and Jordan Love seems to find him.
Yeah.
I feel like Melton kind of finds those soft spots in the zone. And it just seems like when he's gotten the chance, he's been productive. I mean, I pulled up his game log from last year. Yeah, I mean, last 3 weeks of the season, 4 for 44, 6 for 105 and a touchdown, 5 for 62.
He might have been seeing more snaps than Reed in some of those games. Like Reed had like a donut or something in one of the playoff games, which is like, I know he's like a little banged up, but like it's just what a, what a mess. Like we got Bo Melton. Like Bo Melton might be the best. He might be the answer. You
never know. I mean, it's not crazy. I mean, he's produced when he's out there, so it's like, yeah, he's basically free. You can get him off the waivers, or get him thrown into a trade, or throw some fab and get him in a trade. So yeah, I mean, he's a guy that like I feel like he's not that much different from Wicks. I would rather just get like Melton for free and probably like trade off the risk of Wicks, because I mean we were talking about Wicks earlier when we were just chatting on the phone, and
he has value.
I mean, what's the upside? I mean, if he becomes like a top 3 receiver for the Packers, let's say he's named one of the starters, like, can you get a first for him at that point? I don't know. Probably not.
I mean, even if he was a top 3 receiver, let's just say like Dobbs or Watson's out, like, I mean, Bo Melton's still going in there, and like, there was some other crazy name in there. I can't remember who.
Oh yeah, I think Malik Heath.
Yeah, Malik Heath. It's just like I don't know. Like I just feel like they're just gonna pull some guy off the practice squad, like, or the
right.
And there's just like still gonna be this crazy rotation. So like, yeah, we just don't know what the true upside for like value is. And then if you want to talk about his actual point projection, if you're in a best ball dynasty league, sure, like he's definitely a solid guy in your roster, but. I mean, there's just so many players you could start even in deep leagues over like how are you gonna predict that it's the game where he gets a touchdown and 14 points versus the week where he's got like 2 catches for 20. Like I don't know, it's not very intriguing, and the fact that you can like, I mean, there's certainly we saw a guy draft him in the 9th round of a startup. I mean, you thought that was a steal. Like,
are you talking about Wicks?
Yeah, I mean that's certainly like the most bullish like owners on him. You definitely don't see that. Me and Danji just drafted him in the 15th round of startup, and at that point we were just like, hey, like I didn't expect to get him, but kind of just like the most buzzy name on the board.
Yeah.
So we took him, but
right.
He just doesn't really excite me from his practicality and what the true upside is. And what happens if like he goes into week, we're in week 2, and he just like as averaging 6 points a game. Like, I mean, that's like totally gonna happen in my opinion. This isn't best ball. We can't just like project like a couple spike weeks. We don't know that's gonna happen. Like, I just feel like people are gonna come around and be like, hey, this guy really isn't worth anything right now. Like, he's not valuable to my lineup.
Yeah. I mean, he took advantage when there were some injuries last year, and he came in there and put up some numbers, and was pretty efficient. And I feel like the analytics guys out there will like argue for Wicks, and based on that, kind of project him well moving forward in Dynasty. But like, I mean, if he doesn't like win a top 3 job in that wide receiver room, then he's just like kind of a wide receiver handcuff. You're just waiting for more injuries, which certainly could happen. And, he could take advantage of it again. And, so could Bo Melton for that matter. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of feel like the illusion could kind of burst when like we get into week 1 and he's not out there in 3 wide receiver sets, and then what? And then like no one wants to buy him, and then you're just stuck with them and you're waiting for an injury to happen. So yeah, I think you're probably just better getting off that risk personally. I mean, if you have a conviction about him, I mean, you can certainly make that bet. I certainly don't think there's anything wrong with that, but it's just not one I'm personally making. And then with Jaden Reed, well, I mean, talking about kind of Christian Watson and Jaden Reed together. I mean, it's really interesting because 2 years ago, Christian Watson was basically a league winner down the stretch, and then last season, Jaden Reed was down the stretch.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, what's the truth here? You know, I mean, obviously Jaden Reed did that with Christian Watson either, out of the lineup or, playing and maybe not being 100%. I mean, Watson definitely had an injury plagued season. And so that's really when Jaden Reed emerged. So
Yeah.
Jaden Reed is definitely kind of a polarizing player in Dynasty because it's kind of like, what do you believe? Like, was it just because of, the opportunity that opened up through injury? Or do you believe what you saw once he got that chance? And I mean, he did get good draft capital. I mean, second round pick in the NFL draft, if I'm not mistaken, right, for Jaden Reed.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit of a surprise. He wasn't expected to go that high, but had a great rookie season. So,
Yeah.
I mean, my philosophy on that is like when a player produces early, I tend to believe what I'm seeing rather than like making excuses for their production. We always make or I always make the comparison to like Amon-Ra St. Brown. In his rookie season, everyone said, "Oh, it's because Hawkinson and Swift were hurt. That's why he produced." But like, it's kind of like, can you put the genie back in the bottle? Like we saw Reed go out there and play awesome and produce, and it's like, I just don't think the Packers are gonna, go back to playing him 50% of the snaps and only out there in the slot, with 3 wide receiver sets. And they didn't run a ton of those last year, I believe. I mean, of course, they do have like the two young tight ends they drafted in Musgrave and Kraft, but
it's a little concerning because like they definitely want to get those guys on the field, but those guys mostly can swap with each other.
Yeah.
But what I'm looking at right now, just to interrupt you here, like Wicks and Dobbs are like right beside each other. Like, do you I don't know, how do you feel about Dobbs himself? Like, I find him like such a weird, like, I mean, I like Dobbs, but I don't know. I mean, I would rather have Dobbs over Wicks, just like flat out.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to start one.
Right, because I mean, he, at least for the moment, it seems like he would be a projected top 3 receiver for the Packers. It could change. Wicks could overtake him, but it seems like you would have to make Dobbs the favorite over Wicks, just kind of based on how it's been up to this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's honestly been like better when you look at the box scores and stuff than like you'd expect. Like, he's actually kind of startable. Where it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, Wicks, like, I know like he completely exceeded expectations, but like, again, you just go back and box score watch, you're like, I don't know, like, did he really like do anything? I mean, did he matter?
Right.
Like, he looked good on tape. I get it.
Yeah.
He definitely. He certainly has that. He had a high success rate, but sometimes, like, I don't know. Sometimes it just doesn't matter because you're just not in the field enough, and those opportunities just don't come. Like, honestly, Dontavian Wicks we were just talking about Josh Downs last week.
Mm-hmm.
I would, like, I don't know. I think Josh Downs just still makes more sense. Like, I don't know how he's below Wicks.
Well,
like,
I mean, he's on the field. He's a starter, top 3 receiver on the Colts. So yeah, I would rather make that bet too. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, with Julio Dobbs, I feel like he's more appealing and like maybe like a start 11 where you can just kind of like leave him in your like 3rd flex spot every week and just kind of take some of the ups and downs. Obviously, he makes sense in best ball. And yeah, you could make the case for Wicks as well, but probably Dobbs even better since he projects to be a top 3 receiver.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then with Christian Watson, I think he's probably a pretty good buy right now. I mean, when when Watson and Reed were both on the field together, Christian Watson was the most targeted receiver. I do have some stats that I will pull up here.
Hey, real quick while you're doing that, welcome in Green Bean. Saw you. He wants to join in another BBM, and then James Young's coming back again.
Oh, awesome!
Good to see you both. So let's just go over quickly what they said here. So, I mean, this is like what I'm reading off Green Bean. This is like what I am like seeing this as. Like, it's like a 1A, 1B. We don't really know like who that might be. I mean, obviously like Reed's projected, but I mean for Dynasty, there's still like a pretty big discrepancy in their value. Like when you're actually going to trade for them.
Right.
That's why I'm just like, hey, if they're like a 1A, 1B, like give me, I don't know, just give me Christian Watson over. Like I guess at his price. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's saying the matchups. One thing interesting I'll bring up about these like splits and everything is like year one for Watson, he was the one, I know I mentioned this to you, Dan, getting all the jet sweeps, getting all those like design touches
Mhm.
that he's making big plays on them, and like then Jaden Reed got him, but like Christian Watson was
Right.
out. The thing is like I'd have to look deeper into it. Is like when Christian Watson was healthy for those like couple games. I don't know, maybe it was like 4 or 5 games or something before like the end of the season, because like he was still kind of hurt then, which I'll get into like James's comment in a moment there, because that kind of like has to do with like his comment. Um, like who's actually gonna get those design touches? I mean, those are pretty darn valuable, and I know
Right.
Jaden Reed was taking advantage of them, and like I think he scored like he had to have scored multiple touchdowns off those little jet touch passes where Jordan Love pops him up and he just like walks him in the end zone.
Yeah.
After obviously like it's not like he's like walking him in there 20 yards out, but
Yeah.
anyways, so yeah, what I'll say here too is James mentioned about like losing the job in the playoffs. I mean, we were just talking about though. Reed had like a donut in the second playoff
Mhm.
game,
Yeah.
I believe, and then didn't even play like over 40% of snaps. I think something like
Mhm.
crazy like that. And Watson was coming off the injury where I mean, you probably heard this, James, but like it's kind of crazy. Like me and Dan were just talking about it today about how like Christian Watson had like one leg 20% heavier than the other. Like I don't know, that's just like kind of insane. So maybe like he figures that out, because like his injuries have just been this damn hamstring. So I don't know. I don't want to like I don't. I think he's just got this like injury price already like kind of baked into him. So if he can get healthy,
Right.
I mean, there's some upside there. I don't know. I'm not saying he's like the greatest buy in the world. I just think he's like the most intriguing at price, because he's not much more expensive than Wicks and Dobbs, and I see way more upside than in him than those others.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think you could definitely make the argument that Christian Watson's the best buy. It doesn't seem like it's too hard to wrangle him away from a dynasty owner right
Yeah.
now. I'm not exactly sure what his exact price is right now, but it doesn't seem like it would be too bad. I mean, don't you think you get Christian Watson for like more or less like a second right now? I
Yeah, like
mean,
honestly, like you probably could have got like sent away like kind of like a mid to late second easily for
yeah,
Christian Watson
especially
in the
like when
draft.
you're on the clock,
Yeah, oh
like,
yeah,
even if you're at like the 208 or something and you had someone that was, dying to draft, some player that fell there or
yeah,
whatever, like you could probably send that pick away for Christian Watson. So, yeah,
easily,
I don't
yeah.
feel like it's like that tough to get. And then, yeah, I checked Jaden Reed in the 2 playoff games. The wild card game against Dallas played 46% of snaps. So I don't know, was there any kind of injury there, or did he just really play that few snaps? And then in the
Yeah.
divisional game against San Francisco, he played 61% of snaps.
Reed
Uh,
was banged up like a little bit. I forget
okay.
what the injury was, but
Yeah.
he was still out there. It's again, there's like a lot of factors in the situation. That's what makes it like really
Yeah.
intriguing.
Right. Right. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, there is some optimism that Christian Watson is addressing that imbalance,
Yeah,
with his legs or hamstrings or whatever. So
yeah,
maybe he stays healthier this year. I do think he's a heck of a talent. I mean, I loved him coming out as a rookie. I was really high on him. And he paid off the rookie season, and then just last year it really injuries derailed it more than anything. So
yeah.
yeah, it is definitely a tricky situation to analyze. And then I just wanted to pull up the stats about their like basically snaps and everything last season. So basically, this is a tweet from Jacob Gibbs. And so
Okay.
basically, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, and Jaden Reed shared the field for 159 routes during the 23 season. So I'll just compare Watson and Reed here because I think those are the two that we're like most interested in.
Yeah.
So targets, Watson had 35 to Jaden Reed at 29. Not a huge difference there. Air yards, Watson had 547. Jaden Reed had 278. But that makes sense. I mean, Watson's more of a downfield threat, and Jaden Reed is more of like a shot, slot receiver, short to
Yeah.
intermediate range. He's catching passes, and I mean, I don't know how much. I don't put a ton of stock in air yards. You know what I mean? I mean, I care about
Yeah.
like,
Chris
yards.
Olave would be wide receiver one if we cared about
Right,
that.
right, yeah,
If we got
exactly.
points
So,
for that.
but actual receiving yards, Christian Watson 335, Jaden Reed 200. But I mean, you could also argue that at the time they shared most of those snaps. I mean, I don't know exactly how it broke down, kind of throughout the season, but I'm sure for a lot of those, I mean, Jaden Reed was like, obviously he's a rookie, and I'm sure a lot of those snaps were like early in his rookie season. So it's like, he hadn't really gotten a chance to fully get acclimated and break out. I mean, we typically see rookies break out
Yeah.
in the later part of the rookie season, just like Christian Watson did, and just like
Yeah,
Jaden Reed.
yeah. I mean, they're like pretty like I don't know. It's like not too much. I mean, Watson was like way more polarizing and useful in your lineup when he broke out than Reed. Reed was like really consistent. Um, so let's look at the chat here. Andy B back, welcome in. Good to see you back there. Would much rather have Watson. So and then JSN because they're back to back. So like there you're probably talking about best ball. So because like they go within I don't know like 3 or 4 like positions, which yeah I mean that's a tough one because like there's a lot of like your construction. I think that's like probably the right decision. They all have target competition. I mean, obviously the way you're building out your roster plays massively into it, but like one thing I try to keep in mind is like I don't know how like important getting like 13 points every week is if you were to get that. Where like if Watson hits your lineup like half the time, as like JSN does, but he's like putting up 25 points, that's like way more valuable to your roster. So like I've been trying to keep that in mind, like that I would rather Watson probably than JSN in that case if I, especially if I just need some upside at a receiver, just someone to go nuclear.
Yeah.
Obviously JSN's this whole other case, like who knows what to do with him? Like he's a whole other conversation.
Right, for sure.
Let's go to Green Bean here. So yeah, I mean he's worth buying in Dynasty. 7th round best ball might be too high, but it's not bad. So yeah, I mean yeah, again it depends how you built through your through your 6 rounds. But like honestly, at this like this economy for receiver, I don't know, I can't remember off the top of my head like what his price is. Like for receiver, it must be like 40 something. I don't know. I mean honestly, I don't think that's like that bad. For just like a guy that again he's flashed even last year. Like I think he had that Thanksgiving game against the Lions and another one where like he was like putting up big plays and touchdowns. And then obviously, he got injured, but
yeah, I mean, if in any lineup league last season, if you had Christian Watson, you were incredibly frustrated. I had him in one dynasty league, and I traded him kind of like midway through the season, and it was just kind of happy to get rid of him at that point. It was also it was kind of an unusual league where like receiver isn't as important as it is in most leagues. So yeah, I don't know if I would have been quite as anxious to like trade him away, but I felt like I was able to get a decent price on him. But yeah, I mean, it was frustrating owning him in lineup leagues last season for sure.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, this is all like baked into his price too. I mean, maybe it's like baked into his like best ball price, some one way or another, where people are like, like all those like 3-point games, and I think he had like a 7-point game with like 1 catch and a touchdown in his return. But let's go, James here. Reed's 41% snap share had more to do with Watson being forced into a role than Reed. Here's an interesting thing I'll bring up quickly, by the way. If you guys listen like the Dynasty Fantasy Footballers, I don't know, you're doing a best ball, mainly stream here for this off season, but Jaden Reed ran, I think it was like 2 routes in 2 wide receiver sets. Like that is like kind of insane. I don't know. I need to see the splits of like, how often they're running, like kind of heavier personnel versus 11. But I mean that's like kind of a crazy stat. Maybe it's like kind of overblows his usage, but I don't know. I mean that's a little scary because he is a slot guy, primarily, and Watson can be lined up in the slot and obviously play like X, whatever, and be really moved around and versatile as well.
And I think the counter to that is if you're the Packers coaching staff and you see how well Jaden Reed played last season when he had that opportunity, I mean, do you really want to just go back to only running 3 wide receiver sets like half the time and only getting Reed on the field? I mean, don't you want to get Watson and Reed on the field at the same time as much as possible? I mean, those are probably like your 2 best weapons. So I would think you would probably adjust to that. I mean, I feel like the best NFL coaches like adjust to their personnel and try to take advantage of their strengths. And if I was coaching the Packers, I want to get Reed and Watson on the field at the same time. So if that's me, like I'm running more 3 wide receiver sets, and I don't need like Musgrave and Kraft like on the field like all that much together. I'm fine having one tight end. I mean, probably one of those tight ends is going to be injured at any given time anyway. Musgrave injury prone. I think Kraft's dealing with a little injury right now. So it's like I could totally see the Packers running more 3 wide receiver sets. So, that stat is startling, but I think if you think it through, like things do change.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. LaFleur likes using his running backs and definitely establishing a run game as well. So I mean, it probably has a lot to do with like they're running the ball when they have like two tight ends in the field or 2 receivers on the field. But anyways, let's keep going down here the list. The Packers was Watson, force him. So you're worried about his health. I don't know. I think the whole point though is like his health is definitely baked into his price. Because when he's been on the field, he's been like awesome. Mostly, obviously, it was annoying when he was getting work back in last year. But then, then he started breaking out again, and got injured. So I don't know. I'd say it's baked into the price, which is why like I just don't mind the price that much in redraft or whatever in all formats.
Yeah,
it's not like I'm like salivating to go get him. So side note, air yards, route savviness. So I mean. You must be the biggest, Chris Olave, like he's the most savvy route runner out there. I mean, he is pretty nasty, but I just know like when he was playing with Jameis Winston, I don't know if you saw like the numbers, his air yards were just like nuts. Like he was just dominating the league, and like none of them were like getting to his hands, which is pretty funny. But big Chris Olave guy I am, so definitely agree with that. Guess I want to. I don't know what this says. This is, we gotta check in, James. I hope you weren't having a stroke when you wrote this.
yeah. Clarify that for us.
Okay. Yes, you want something Watson and Reed on
the field often. Oh yeah. So
together,
I think you disagree with what I was saying. That like wouldn't you want to get those 2 guys on the field at the same time? So I think the Packers coaching staff is smart enough to figure that out.
So we got we got some insider information. We got the PFF blocking grades here on Dobbs. So he's their best blocking receiver. I'll take your word for it. So yeah, hey, I mean maybe Dobbs is like the guy that's out there in the 2 receiver sets then. Block.
I mean it's also possible that like this whole like kind of wide receiver room is a mess and you don't really know when to like start any of these guys. I mean. I hope that's not the case. I don't think that's particularly likely, but maybe it's in the range of outcomes. I mean, at least if we're talking about lineup leagues. So, I mean, all these guys are interesting in best ball, but just to kind of like wrap up the conversation a bit for Dynasty, for these 5 Packers wide receivers that we've been talking about, which of them are you buying and which are you selling? I'd say for me,
Dynasty.
Yeah, in Dynasty. Okay. I would say for me, I'm buying Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, and Bo Melton, and I'm selling Romeo Doubs and Dontavian Wicks.
Yeah, I'll. I mean, buying literally Bo Melton is like pick him on the waiver wire, which
exactly. So adding him, or getting him thrown into a trade,
Usually he's a buy because he's just like Wicks with a different format. Wicks. He's not as good, but like we know that, but
he's a discount Dontavian Wicks.
Exactly. I mean. Again, we're not going to talk about the tape and stuff like that. He can be out there and score some touchdowns, miss some big plays.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like discount Christian Watson is like the better way to like put it for his like play type. But I mean honestly at the price, again Christian Watson at the price, I think everything's baked in at this price, and it's just like not. I think there's like some really good trades, or you can just kind of get him thrown in, kind of like there was one in a league we're in with Nico Collins kind of thrown in as a. It could be kind of similar to that where he's just, again, he's like one of the least important players in the deal, and it kind of evens things out.
Right.
So again, that's like kind of how I want to attack that rather than just like going out and getting him. But, Reed, I'll probably, I don't want to be like too reactionary, like getting burnt by all those like second-year receivers last year.
Yeah.
Which I think like plays into it for me, like the Burks and the Dotson and the Christian Watson, funny enough. But, I'll just say he's kind of like a hold. Like I'm not like desperate to get rid of him. I'm not desperate to get him. And then Dobbs and Wicks. I'm trying to sell them for at their current price.
Okay. I'm surprised that you're holding Reed. I thought you would end up more on the sell side, but you're okay holding them and just kind of accepting a little bit of that risk for the upside if it turns out what we saw last season was legitimate.
Yeah, like I'm not desperate to sell him, right? Like
Yeah.
if I get the right offer or the right
Mhm.
move, like then I'm definitely not like gonna be worried about moving on from him. But
Yeah.
again, I'm not going out door to door knocking like trying
Right,
to get
right.
rid of
I
him.
gotcha.
So
Do you own any shares of Reed and Dynasty right
I
now?
do, and it's in a best ball league, so
Oh, okay.
it's
So
kind of
yeah,
like
that's
all right to own him in
pretty
there.
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
But if you own him in a dynasty, if you own Jaden Reed in a dynasty lineup league,
trade him
uh,
already.
yeah,
Trade him
yeah.
for Mike Evans and Burton.
But like, how about this? Like, would you tear down to Christian Watson, and what would you take on top to make that deal?
Like a second comes to
Second,
mind like
yeah.
immediately because
I
like
think that's.
you can't
I
get a
think that
first for Reed.
sounds about right. Yeah, you can't get a first, but yeah, I think you could probably get a second. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it for a third, but yeah, I think that's not a bad deal if you get a second on top.
I mean, yeah. Again, I mean, I know like lineups different, and that's a whole other conversation that we were discussing amongst ourselves. But I mean, they're not being drafted like too far on underdog. Obviously, that boosts Watson up a little bit because you don't have to worry about like upgrading him. But like we're already kind of talking about like who's the 1A and the 1B there and stuff like that. So I don't know. Just give me the second at that point. I don't know if Reed's that much of a difference maker. We can fast forward to like we could look back at this and hey, maybe he's just like the next Debo Samuel for production and I look like an idiot. But
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
the last thing I'll say about this is that, like, no risk, no reward. I mean, sometimes you just have to, have some conviction on some of these players and just be willing to make a bet
Yeah.
amidst some uncertainty. Because, I mean, that's sometimes when you get the biggest rewards. Just like, if you bought into Amon-Ra St. Brown after his rookie season when there were all those skeptics out there. So sometimes you just got to take a chance. So I would say, don't be afraid to have some conviction and, trust your intuition and be willing to make some bets. But if you're more risk adverse, I mean, you could consider trading off, just about all these guys. I mean,
Yeah.
Christian Watson would probably be the hardest one to really get fair value for. But it seems like Reed and Wicks would be pretty easy to sell. Probably not a ton of demand for Dobbs. So
yeah. Like truly, like with all the guys that I owned, like I did sell Dobbs somehow for a second. I mean, that's not easy to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I did sell at least like a Wicks, and I sold a Reed. This, Watson's the only guy that I own, and I didn't sell him. So like, I think it backs up like my actions. It's just I just don't think it's like I can get fair compensation for him owning him, and that's kind of reflects how I feel about that whole situation. So
yeah, I did trade for Jaden Reed like a few months ago. I took
like
over an
DK
orphan team. Yeah, I had DK Metcalf on an orphan team that I took over.
Yeah.
So I traded him for Jaden Reed, and on top of it, I can't remember exactly. I know I got Demarcus Robinson, who of course I have a soft spot for.
Hey,
It is a start 11 though, so I mean Demarcus Robinson could definitely make my lineup and be useful. And then I think I got maybe just like a 4th round pick or something like that on top of it. It wasn't huge, but yeah. I do own Jordan Love, so I kind of wanted the stack, and I'm not a big DK guy, and I was just willing to make the bet on Jaden Reed. So that is one example of actually down tiering to Jaden Reed, and I was happy with that deal.
Okay, yeah. So let's wrap that up. Hopefully that helped. I don't even know if you guys in the chat. I know you guys are in here for the best ball, at least mostly. Hopefully if you play some Dynasty, that can help you, or it still can help you in best ball. And
and actually, to everyone in the chat, like, I mean, let us know, like, what brought you here. Are you more here for the best ball draft, or do you also play Dynasty? So kind of let us know what you guys are into and what you enjoy seeing covered on this channel. We'd definitely love to hear your feedback.
Yeah, certainly. And we're not gonna start the best ball draft. We had who was it? It was Green Bean. We haven't. Oh no, he did come back here. So this is your morning, Green Bean. Get ready to get queued up. James, Andy, if you want to join in as well. We're getting ready here, and I'll give some kind of like countdown or something when we go. If you guys want to join in, if not, if you just want to watch. Perfectly fine, obviously, as well. But yeah, you don't want to be sharp. You don't want to be drafting with all the sharps. Can't be drafting with the Dynasty savvy guys here.
Right, yeah.
We're gonna be scooping up all that Christian Watson. So
right.
Bo Melton.
Yeah, I mean, certainly after all this discussion, and I hope it was helpful. Definitely a confusing situation to navigate, but we hope we provided you some value and just kind of making sense of everything. And but yeah, it'll be kind of interesting now after that discussion to see where those guys go and kind of talk about that in best ball.
Yeah. I'm just gonna give a little warning in the chat. Tag him just to make sure he gets his chance if he wanted, and yeah, I'm interested to see if we. What was the pick I keep getting? 7?
Oh, eight.
8?
Wasn't it 8?
Yeah, 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've got it 3 BBMs in a row.
Yeah,
And
it's insane. Yeah, anything but 8.
And it's funny. I've been seeing some stuff around where like people are like, oh, I keep drafting in the top 6, and it's like, dude, like I don't like. I don't know. I don't like. I get it if you want to like be at the back, but like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like last year. Before you could get Amon-Ra and CD Lamb at the turn.
Right.
Now you're getting like Drake London Marvin. It's just like it's night and day.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't like hearing those complaints.
Yeah, it just seems like inevitably like everyone complains. Like no one's happy with like the spots that they're getting all these underdog drafts. But what can you do? You just got to make the best of whatever you get.
Yeah. So let's let's get ready to join here. There's probably like a delay, so you can try to account for that. But yeah, I don't know how long it is. Maybe it's like 5 seconds or something. Or maybe it's like nothing. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and enter this thing. 3, 2, 1, go. Probably not like a lot of people on like a Wednesday night at I don't even know what time it is. Was it 10:30?
Yeah, it's kind of late. Yeah, we got a late start. Let's see.
Yeah. It needs 8 people, so you're good, Green Bean or whoever wants to join in. If so, you'll have plenty of time here. I'm interested to see how this pans out, Dan, because like we didn't have the best draft last time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that last one was kind of a disaster.
Yeah. I the one before, like I think we really liked it.
Oh yeah, I would love the one before it. Like everything, just the 2 drafts were like the exact opposite of each other. The first one, just everything like fell into place beautifully with like the stacks and correlations and bringbacks and everything. And then the second draft, just like nothing came together at all. It was just like a jumbled mess.
Yeah. I think we learned a lesson with Laporta. I don't know if he was the causation for like that, but it definitely started after that pick. Thinking we.
But what's the lesson though? I mean, Laporta's awesome. I mean, I was excited at the time. Didn't we get him like the 4th round? So I mean, it seemed like a great pick. But like, I mean, what would you have done differently? I mean,
I just don't remember like who we were even taking, honestly.
Yeah.
to like
right.
That. I don't know. I'm just gonna blame it on Laporta. That's
okay. Yeah. Just okay. Yeah. Just blame the Detroit Lion.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I feel great drafting a tight end 1 that highly, just in general. I mean, we did get a decent value on him in the 40s, like early 40s.
Yeah.
But when you can get guys, like a round later.
Yeah, I mean, tight end is deeper than I feel like it usually is. But the thing about Laporta that I feel like is just getting overlooked is I feel like people like assume that like because he was so awesome his rookie season that like that was like his ceiling and that like okay, he's just going to do that again. But it's like, it could be better,
Oh, certainly. I mean, he did run hot in touchdowns. I won't take that away from him.
Yeah.
10 of a rookie is like, that is, like a tight end position is pretty crazy. But again, like, that doesn't mean he's going to regress. Even if he did touchdowns, he can certainly, get his receptions and targets up and yards and all that stuff to make up for
I actually think his touchdowns could go up, believe it or not. I would not be surprised by that because one interesting thing is that Amon-Ra St. Brown kind of scored like an unusually high amount of touchdowns last season, 10.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the exact stat, but like based on like how many St. Brown should have scored based on like his red zone targets or whatever, it shouldn't have been like nearly that much, is what I believe was the case there. So if that kind of regresses, I could see Laporta scoring more touchdowns this season. I mean, I think he's only going to get better. I mean, it's crazy because like tight ends usually take a while to develop. So like, I don't think we've seen the best of Laporta yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Like, I mean, Monty was eating up like touchdowns like crazy anyways too.
Yeah.
Not that that's not going to happen, but I mean, I don't know. There's so much variance that can happen.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
sure.
Again, I'm not gonna take it away from Laporta. It's just like the yardage stuff as well. Like, I don't know. I mean, he can go up higher, but again, it's a pretty big gap, like for receivers and stuff, from 36 to like 52. I think that's where like my big problem runs. Whereas like if you make the right bet and these guys are really similar, like, especially like really like Andrews.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's. I just prefer like drafting those guys later, and then for stacking purposes as well.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. I mean,
Niners.
if we don't believe in JMO, Jamison Williams to like produce, really that much,
Yeah.
it's like, and we know Josh Reynolds is gone. He was a starting receiver for the Lions last season. It could be a very consolidated kind of
Right.
target share with like St. Brown, Laporta, Gibbs out of the backfield. I mean, the targets could really be funneled to like those three guys. So like,
Hey,
yeah,
I'm all in now. I'm all in now. You know, that's a good. I like that you bring it up because I don't know if we do that enough. We're like, hey, I don't like this guy. I mean, I think I am that way with like Chris Godwin, where it's like, maybe I've been overhating Chris Godwin from like a lineup standpoint. Like I just don't like him at all in best ball. But
yeah.
at least I'm going in and trying to get Mike Evans, and I don't know, I'm trying to get McMillan, but no success.
Oh, and trying to get McMillan in Dynasty, or
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you can't make stuff up. We don't get 8, we get 7. I mean.
Oh geez. All right, at least it's not 8. I mean, it's something different at least. It's a start.
So Green gets what do you get? You got 11. So Green Bean gets 11. I can't remember if Bean was the guy that said he prefers the back half of the board because someone we were drafting with.
Yeah, right.
Said it was. I'm gonna assume it was him. And okay, yeah, you put in the chat that he enjoys some Dynasty chat as well. So I mean, I'm gonna assume you play at least in like a league or something. If not, maybe it'd still be fun to listen to. That's kind of how I got into it. Just
right. Yes. Yeah. Kind of same here.
Yeah. So let's, I guess, lock in here. I mean, if anyone else is in here, let us know. I don't see any names I recognize. I mean, I recognize this name for sure, but probably just like in other drafts.
Okay.
Unrelated. So you do prefer the right side. So that was you, I believe, that told us that. So I mean, hey, this time we're drafting not on opposite sides of the boards. We are.
Yeah. So I guess we could be. We could be sniping each other a little bit. So that should be interesting to see.
Wow, Lamb just went 3 in this one. I've
Okay.
never seen that. At least in a best ball mania. What are we thinking here for the first pick? I mean, dude, honestly, like I've been like, I think we started AJ Brown in the draft we liked. I don't remember what one it was.
One of them, yeah, one of them we got AJ Brown. Yeah, I think it was the fourth one.
I feel like AJ. Oh my God, we're gonna get Amon-Ra or Jefferson the 7. Okay, I mean not like that's like insane, but like
oh my God,
you don't see that very often. So I mean I think that's like an easy decision.
All right, we're gonna get the Lions, the Vikings.
Woo!
Oh my God, we're getting Jefferson.
You can't talk me into Amon-Ra. We're just taking Jefferson at 7. I can't believe. I mean, hey, the receiver thing, like maybe like the receiver. I haven't seen it yet. The Netflix thing, like maybe.
Oh,
people weren't liking what they're seeing. I don't know what the hell just happened there, but
yeah, that's crazy.
I just can't believe like he put up. I know it was 2 against the Lions, but that's like the Twitter buzz right now is like, guys, like Jefferson was on pace for 2,000 yards with Nick Mullins and the Mormon Missile throwing him balls. So. I mean, I don't know if we should be overthinking like Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy guys. Like this is just like, really pass heavy offense. I'm obviously like a fan of the Vikings, so I have no problem taking Jefferson. Dan is what I'm trying to say here.
I completely agree with that. Like I'm really not worried about the quarterback situation. Justin Jefferson's going to produce, and like if Nick Mullins can do it, why not Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy? So I'm not worried at all.
Here's like, I think people are like, we were talking about like keeping things simple, right? Before going on live. For fantasy, and I just think this is like probably like the best example where it's like, I mean, it's Justin Jefferson. Like,
don't overthink it. You know what I mean? Because like, I mean, it's crazy that you can get Justin Jefferson like in the middle of the first round, where like he's always like usually a top 3 pick.
Yeah, like he played most of his season, or well, I guess like half of his season without Kirk Cousins. He was just as good without Kirk Cousins, and. I mean, he wasn't disappointing. It was awesome when he played every game, basically. So, I mean, it's just unbelievable. I guess he was getting drafted like 1-on-1 every time last year. it's kind of crazy. Also, I think this is like a factor people aren't considering. It's just like it's Justin freaking Jefferson, and he's gonna like they're gonna make it a point after paying him to get him the ball, like even if they're just like losing games every damn time. So we're gonna come back on the board here. Let's stop this Jefferson
Yep.
rant. But I don't know. I think we went Adams before. Like honestly, I really like Waddle. Is like a guy I've been trying to push up the board.
Yeah.
Do you like anyone?
I mean, I guess what I think about Adams is like he's like the number one receiver on his team, whereas like Waddle's the two. But I do like Waddle. So
Waddle's
you can
like
certainly
easier
talk me into it.
stackable, which is like
Okay.
pretty good value.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, we went really heavily into that like Saints game already in base or like Saints. So like, are you fine with going?
I'm fine with Waddle. Yeah.
I don't know if I like the Browns. We like
Yeah.
Foreman and like Ford, but
Yeah.
I don't even know if Ford's like even that good of a pick technically. He's kind of like a floor guy, but
Mhm.
we can certainly play into it later.
Yeah, I mean, I like Jerome Ford. I think he's kind of a sneaky pick this year, and just about any format.
I'd love to like I have generally a really good memory of like where guys went like a year before kind of thing, but
Okay, right.
I'm trying to remember where Waddle went. I think he was just like again in this range here, which he's really been getting pushed up. I think it was like a 2-3 turn before.
Yeah,
he
because
didn't have, like, a disappointing season,
I feel like that was a
but-
common like 1-2 punch to like get last year was like Jefferson and Waddle.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, he was definitely disappointing in the touchdown category, but I don't know. I mean, there's definitely like a ton of upside. He killed it when Tyreek Hill was out too, and I had to play him
Right.
in a playoff league, so of course I know that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think there's a lot of upside, and big play stuff. So it's just
Yeah, I think he'll have a better year. Do we want to look at Green Bean's start? I think he went with Garrett Wilson and Jahmyr Gibbs. What do you think of that start?
Let's take a look at it. Oh yeah, sorry. Let me just comment real quick, but I need more drafts. So you need more drafts on the left. I mean, same here. Let's take a look. He goes Garrett Wilson, and he goes Jahmyr Gibbs. So, I mean, that's not like the most not the most unique, but certainly not like that's not shock at all. That start because Garrett Wilson, I don't think goes to 11 like extremely often. His ADP is probably like what 9. So, I mean, I like the start. You do have to take a running back. Early, which always hurts, but I don't know. I mean, Gibbs certainly has an extremely high ceiling for best ball. I like him for best ball more than I do like a redraft because again, David Montgomery is like really annoying. So,
Right.
I mean, I definitely a good start. If I was picking at 11, I'd be really happy with that start. It's basically what I'm trying to say here because.
Oh yeah, I think it's very solid.
I've been hating those starts there, and I always get forced into London and Mar. I don't even get those guys. Like I don't even end up getting with Marvin in London. I get like, I don't even know who I take. I end up having to take basically a Jalen Waddle there. Like it's not fun. So
yeah.
I'm coming back around. Wow, Devonta Smith was like falling, and I think he's an awesome pick.
Mm-hmm.
One guy that I hate clicking is like DJ Moore, but like, can you talk yourself into like at wide receiver 21 price? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't dislike that at all. I mean, had an excellent year, and I mean, there's a little more competition, but also that should make the offense better. You got a better quarterback in there, so like I think DJ Moore is a pretty rock solid pick, especially in best ball underdog. I'm good with that.
Interdivisional as well. I think the Vikings and Bears play week 16. I don't know if I'm making that up, but
yeah, okay. But yeah, we were kind of going like the division theme with our first draft last week. That was like the big thing. So yeah, maybe we'll kind of roll with that strategy and see where it takes us.
DJ Moore, like again, I'm especially like Dynasty. I'm not like too into him.
Yeah.
But because like obviously there are a lot of things that are going against him. But hey, let's play the Keenan Allen's gonna be out by midseason.
Right.
And, Moore's going to be the dude with a quarterback upgrade. I don't know. Let's play
that. And obviously, like, Odunze's a rookie, so, I mean, we think he's going to be good, but how soon exactly will he produce? And, I think DJ Moore should be good from start to finish of the season.
Yeah. I want to see, like, what Odunze's. I mean, wide receiver 38 versus 21. Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to see. I thought they were a little bit closer, but... I mean, who knows? Maybe Odunze does literally nothing, and DJ Moore is that dude. That's what we got to tell ourselves a story for $1.5 million.
I mean, we got to remember this is redraft and not dynasty. You know what I mean? Like obviously, like in dynasty, like those players' values would be a lot closer. Yeah. In fact, I mean, Dunze's probably has more value in dynasty, wouldn't he? Not even
Yeah.
sure about that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I think so.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, with age and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think DJ Moore should be well ahead of him in redraft and
Yeah.
best ball, whatever.
So wow, Derrick Henry goes 36. Man, I've been really wanting to get like Kyron Williams in the 3rd round, and
Hmm.
he never comes to us. So
Yeah.
let's let Green Bay pick before we discuss our next.
Okay. Yeah. Good
Results.
call.
Can't let him be sniping us. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw he took Pittman. I'm a big Pittman guy, like just in general. I think he's like a lot more valuable in. I don't know. I've been like, am I too high on Pittman? But
Mhm.
and I don't know if I am in best ball. Like that's why I'm kind of like been trying to like just avoid him because I keep clicking him.
Yeah.
I'm just. Do you want to go Pacheco? Oh, fucking Laporta's there. Oh my god.
I know.
Oh my god.
That
What
could
do you
happen.
think? Should we just test the theory and
Come on,
another
NFC
divisional?
North. Like,
Yeah.
come
You know
on.
what?
Let's do
The
it.
Bears and Lions probably play. Oh my god, you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah. All right. If this draft goes to hell, then maybe we can start to entertain your theory about
Dude.
Laporta being the bad luck charm.
Yeah, my problem is like Jalen Hurts is like also my smash there. I actually really like Pacheco as a pick as well. Just because
Yeah.
like if you want to get a running back early, I don't know, and I really like it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I do think Pacheco will have a big year. So yeah, it's tough though because it just seems like there's so much value at running back later. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't hate taking Pacheco there.
yeah, the one thing I really like is like you can just take Pacheco and then not worry for like till like round 10, 11 or something.
Yeah, but I mean, you could say the same thing about Laporta that we can definitely do a 2 tight end build now and
Yeah.
take an extra running back or receiver or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what is going on here, man? People keep taking Trey McBride over Laporta. Like, is this a new trend? I don't know what's going on here.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I hadn't really noticed that. You've seen that more than once.
That happened last time, at least.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything that really kind of changes the equation. And like I said, I was making the case for Laporta earlier. Like, I think he's going to be awesome this year. So, I mean, I'll take all the Laporta I can get in just any format of fantasy football.
I mean, I know you'll take him. You won't fight over
Yeah.
Mr. Lion, but
Right. Okay, well, come on.
yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, when I see Jalen Hurts there, I have this like hatred towards the Eagles, but in fantasy, like
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is that dude to me.
Mhm.
I will always have him at like QB1 until he's like, I don't know, until he's just like retired or like just
Okay.
not, no, or just like flat out sucks. Like
Yeah.
I don't care what happened in this last season. I
Mhm.
mean, Kellen Moore sounds like I don't know that I'm like salivating just like thinking about that.
Right.
offense.
Yeah, I kind of have been hearing some other people kind of put forth that idea that they're going to be passing the football more, and that's kind of what I've been thinking. So yeah, I do kind of think there's some sneaky upside for the Eagles passing game this year.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see. What do we got for stacks? We got like really easy stackable players right now.
Yeah.
Later stuff. I mean, we definitely like all of these running. I mean, I'll even throw Herbert as a guy that I've been kind of clicking on, but like don't love him. He's just really cheap. But obviously
Okay.
we have Wright and we have Chandler, right?
Oh yeah, I love those
So,
guys.
So
I mean, what are we thinking for quarterback? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously we're gonna have Tua and Caleb on the radar. Like, I mean, how badly do we want to get those stacks? And of course, Jared Goff with Sam Laporta. So it's kind of like, yeah, do we just kind of see what value falls to us? What are your thoughts?
I think I'm willing to play that game.
Yeah.
More so.
I mean, what QBs are on the board right now? What is the quarterback?
It's just I'm not into it at all. It's Stroud, and we don't have Stroud. So
Yeah.
I mean, Jaden Reed is here, and like again, we could play into that game as we were just talking about Reed.
NFC North. So
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, here we are with this NFC North again.
Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't them last time, but again, we're that's crazy that we're kind of just falling into that again.
yeah,
But
I like it. I mean, it's not something I really have heard discussed much before, but it kind of makes sense because everyone is so big into these week 17 correlations, and I
Yeah.
understand why, of course, but it's kind of the same idea that these teams in the same division are going to be playing each other twice,
Yeah.
sometimes in the fantasy playoffs where you're really winning the money. And so if we believe that, the idea that, okay, the game could be a shootout and kind of both guys hit, then I mean, in theory, it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that one worked out even perfectly because it's a week 17 matchup too. I don't know how many divisional weeks. I don't think there's like that many, surprisingly, for week 17 of
Okay.
divisional matchups.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, a lot of them come in like week 18, don't they? Isn't it always like
yeah,
the last
it's
week
like
of the season
all
of
of
the
them.
NFL regular season? It has a lot of divisional
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know. I felt like there was more last year, but I could be wrong
Mhm.
for week 17. But
Yeah.
um,
I really like this receiver room
dude,
that we got,
yeah.
though. And then
Well,
Laporte on top of it.
like
I mean, I love what we're doing so far.
what I love about this is like we have easily stackable quarterbacks. I mean, even
Yep.
throw Jordan Love in there. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's
Heck
the most
yeah.
expensive of them all, actually. But I mean, holy crap! I mean, Jared Goff too. Like, can't forget about him. And like that's a range of quarterbacks that you can really attack. And then again you got McCarthy, and then we can just like stop at 6. We can stop at 2, and we can
Oh,
just
yeah.
like backload running back if we need.
Oh, yeah.
James Cook is still sitting here as like a value as ADP. I know we didn't like him last time, but
Yeah. That did not feel good at all last time when we took James Cook. It was just so meh.
I don't know. Like, are we insane here for like thinking Jordan Addison? I don't know if you're
I
seeing
know. I
that.
was wondering if he fell. Like, can we resist?
Dude, honestly, like I don't like hate. I don't know. I'm just like talking running back. Rashad White, Addison, like mix in. Do you like one of those other? Like I don't mind White as like our like getting.
Yeah,
a
I don't
guy.
mind White. I mean, I'd be fine with White or Addison. I'm good either way. I mean, do we want to get a running back, or do you want to just load up on the division with the Addison?
Let's play White because I think we can. I don't know. I think we can just like figure out our receiver. I just think it's
Yeah,
important to like get one dude when we have
yeah,
like that
yeah.
stacked.
I can see that. I kind of felt like I wanted to say Addison,
No,
but I
I
kind of
know.
felt like in my gut, like Rashad White was the right call. So I
Yeah.
think we just kind of have to like eat our vegetables on that one. I like it. I feel like we get better balance, and maybe there's a little more upside by not having like the two Viking receivers. Not that I'm completely
I,
opposed to it, but
I don't hate it because like for advanced rate stuff, I don't know how much like they're gonna be paired together. Like they're pretty easy to pair together, but
uh-huh.
people like I don't know like they are obviously like fading Jefferson. They're like fading, at least in Dynasty like Addison it seems. So maybe
Yeah,
people
right,
aren't pairing them together, and maybe like Addison, we had 2 wide receiver 1 overall finishes we know,
mhm,
and he could be the guy that you need to advance. And then all of
right,
a sudden it's Jefferson's game next time. That's like
right.
when you can find stuff like that, that's how you advance and eventually you get a chance to take it down. So
Yeah, I think you make a good case there. So yeah, I think in future drafts, if we have a chance to pair up Jefferson and Addison and it makes sense, like yeah,
yeah,
I definitely think we should try to um, get that on a team
yeah,
or two throughout these drafts.
like it almost made more sense to do that in the sense that no one's gonna have this stacked receiver room and do that, but like
Right,
there is I don't know when I feel this good about a draft, like I definitely don't want to be like holy crap like Corum's like my RB2, and
right.
I definitely just like want to get a body in there that you can feel good
Yeah.
about every week, and then you can really just let the value fall to you the rest of the
Yeah,
way.
exactly. I think
Right?
that's kind of what the best thing that does by having it more kind of balanced with the different positions, having something at every at each
Oh,
position that like yeah, now we can like not have to force anything later. We can just take value that falls to us.
exactly. So we gotta check in on Green Bean's draft here. So
Yeah.
hey, what do you know? He ends up taking, Christian Watson after we took Reed there, and I mean we were all. I mean I was on the Watson, Watson side, and
Yeah.
not as much the Reed side. So that's pretty funny how that works out there. And I don't know if like Green Bean was the one saying like someone was like trying to, they were a little concerned. I don't think it was Green Bean. It might have been James, but
Hmm.
um, funny how that
Okay,
pans
so wait.
out.
So wait. We took Reed over Watson then?
Oh I
Yeah,
mean they're
yeah. Okay,
pretty
but he's
separated by.
he's higher in the ADP, right?
Oh yeah, by a decent amount. Man, Worthy's like still sitting here. Is there something wrong with him? Like, there's no news thing on him, but he did have a hammy a couple weeks ago.
I mean, if that is making him cheaper, I mean, I'm happy to take him.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna get here, but 17 picks after ADP is like kind of insane.
That is, yeah. I mean, we'd have to draft him if he's there, if sitting on the board there.
Okay, backup plan. What are we thinking? JSN actually does play into this build because okay, Worthy's there because we had the Bears, but I don't know.
I think we got to take Worthy. Yeah, I think that's just like too juicy.
Sure, maybe we can try and find like a Jalen Warren or Najee or something if they'd come around. But I'm not like.
What do you think about? What do you think about Worthy versus JSN? Because I saw he was selling the board too. I mean, I don't think JSN's a bad value there either. I mean, I could see him finally producing here in a second season. I mean, you know.
Yeah. I mean, no, dude. I'm not out. I'm a little nervous for. I just don't know if he truly has that dynasty like ceiling as what we all believed last year, and you know, dynasty Twitter was trying to tell us like every tweet. But I mean, I'm definitely not writing him off to be a guy that can easily take a step. And I mean, there are again so many like weird factors in his situation. Where I mean, I just kind of hate that coordinator for the Bears. That's why I'm like a little like scared about Odunze, and it's not right to be, but
yeah. Although one thing that I heard is that at least like a theory that I heard is that maybe like Pete Carroll had some influence on that, where the coordinator couldn't like do everything he wanted because, you know, Pete Carroll's old school and, you know, run the football and, you know, play defense and all that stuff. So maybe he'll have more freedom in Chicago now to kind of do his thing. So maybe there's some hope there.
I mean, yeah, I could be right as well. I think there's like, I don't know, a lot of the conversations we're having today, there's so much to like dive into in so many ways you can look at it. I was hoping actually potentially Jameson Williams would be there because I don't know. I just feel like this is kind of like a unique stack of receivers with Worthy, and it's like, hey, if we get that week 16, 17 like JMO, I mean, I hate the pick itself, but
I think it would work on this team.
Yeah, so can't overlook quarterback. I mean, we're fine on a quarterback. There's so many guys to grab, and
okay, so we don't want to think about Jordan Love here.
I don't think so. I mean, we have his best weapon. If someone else wants to take him, I don't know. Like, do you want to take? I think this is the time to take Jalen Warren. It correlates with Worthy, and I think he's like pretty exciting basketball guy. Like, can you?
Yeah. I like Warren. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to that. Like him being there for us at all. And then we got 11 picks. So, I mean, I was hoping we were closer to try and get Lockett for, you know, that DJ Moore game, bring back. But
any comments in the live chat that we want to catch up on?
No.
Okay.
Nothing there.
If you guys have any questions about, you know, anything fantasy football, like feel free to put them in the live chat, and we can definitely answer any questions you guys have, like between picks, whether it's about Dynasty or best ball or just like your redraft home league. You know, feel free to shoot them in the live chat, and we'll definitely take a look at those from time to time and answer your questions.
Yeah, I mean, if you literally have like just a random question or like, I don't know, if you want, if there's anything. You just type it.
I mean, if you want to ask us something completely off topic, you know, just to kind of mix it up, like, well, you know, AMA here, so.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you know, it's always good to see people, you know, asking anything, and again, you know, you don't have to take us for, you know, you're watching. If you found us, you know, you gotta be savvy manager. So, you know, I think it's always good to bounce some thoughts off each other. I know, Dan, like you and I all the time are trying to like question if, you know, if something, you know, there's some validity behind our thoughts, or if we're, you know, overthinking it. Just like trying to, it's always good to talk to someone. And I guess I don't know if you guys play Dynasty, but like, oh my god, like Dynasty it's you have so much time to think about things. So it's always good to like get a second opinion, and you know, sometimes you just need you know, me to talk Dan out of doing some crazy things or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely have like talked me kind of off the ledge a few times, and like, you know, stop me from like making a bad deal. And yeah, we definitely have a lot of fun conversations about Dynasty, and yeah, we definitely help each other out, and yeah, it's good to bounce ideas off each other and just like talk with other smart people.
By the way, it was Green Bean that took Jameson Williams. That.
Oh, of course, yeah. All right, he sniped us.
So, oh man, like I don't know, like I don't know if I really care enough to get Jordan Love. Like, is that right or no? I mean,
I definitely don't dislike it. I mean, is there anything else on the board that's like, screaming at us?
I guess like we could always get another Packer player, and then like Jefferson's our bring back. So
Okay.
I'm not opposed to that.
And what about Romeo Dobbs? I mean, does he kind of make sense in best ball here?
Yes, but we could still get Wicks cheaper Melton.
Yeah. Right.
No, but Burrow's still up there, so maybe we go Dobbs then.
Okay, we shouldn't just like secure Love now, or
yeah, it makes more sense to like get Love, because why would we want Dobbs if we don't have Love? So
yeah, right. Yeah, let's just get Love. I mean,
yeah,
we don't have a quarterback yet. I mean, like,
yeah,
Love's pretty damn good. So
yeah,
I'm happy.
I'm definitely not like pressed to like get a quarterback. We have these many like. That's always kind of like a tiebreaker in my mind too, when you can actually get a really stackable quarterback or player. But
yep.
Obviously like, we don't mind Goff at all, and two.
Oh yeah, similar. Yeah. I definitely would not mind getting Goff. So I mean, what are you thinking? Is this going to be a 2 or 3 QB build?
I was kind of thinking 3, but like initially I was thinking McCarthy, but now I don't know if that really like makes too much sense. But we could just see what happens. This could be like a crazy Justin Fields team. I'm already thinking, because like we have some KC, and maybe we just get him with our last pick. And get him in that game.
Yeah, but the problem is like we have too many other good options to stack with like Goff, Tua, Caleb. I mean, just so many good options. Yeah, JJ McCarthy.
I mean, we could definitely get like a Goff or like Caleb or whoever else. It was.
I guess just see what the value is that falls to us, and kind of let that decide to some degree.
Yeah, and we still got to see how this raw. I mean, we're kind of better at running back than I expected.
Right. Yeah, considering how loaded we are, kind of everywhere else, just about.
Yeah. So I want to see, like, actually, this is where the running backs are like really sexy to me for the value. Like, it just feels like there's going to be a lot of kind of league winners in this section. We got to keep our.
Oh yeah, I mean, like,
but like later. Much later.
Yeah, I mean, I like Corum, Chase Brown, Jerome Ford. Like, all those guys sound really good to me.
Yeah. I'm just thinking with games, like, I'm seeing Charbonnet later. He fits into bring back with more. So, again, we don't need to take him anywhere near here, but...
You got Kendre Miller a little further down as well. So, yeah, definitely a nice range for running backs here. Marshawn Lloyd, I like. Oh yeah, and the Packers. So, yeah,
exactly,
maybe roster, that'd be kind of nice.
Yeah, and then there's like Chandler as well, who we can always keep an eye on. But I think like Lloyd, Lloyd feels a little bit better. Holy crap, Dobbs is still there after we
wow.
So that'd be an easy click, I think.
Yeah, we almost kind of have to take him at that point. I mean, we were saying like he's definitely a better best ball player than lineup.
Yeah, hey, I'm just making sure there's nothing else crazy on here.
Yeah. And almost it kind of feels meant to be with the whole Packers wide receiver discussion. So I think we just have to take Romeo Dobbs if he falls that far.
Honestly,
Jordan Love.
Didn't expect that at all. Like to be playing into the Packers. I've been playing a little bit more into Minnesota side like in my drafts.
Yeah, can you imagine if we had taken Addison rather than?
God. Yeah, thank God we didn't. I think things worked out for our construction, which is why I like getting that running back, because you just never know. I mean, holy crap! I wonder like what the latest like Worthy has been drafted. That seems like, this economy 79 on Worthy is
right.
Did he just kill someone?
Really I hope he didn't pull like a Rashid. Anything like that. So yeah.
Dude, I almost gotta like look this up. Like, there's no way.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully all is good there.
No, hey, he just got engaged a day ago. I mean, I don't know. That's some positive news to me. Like,
yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not seeing anything about him on.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes guys just fall. Like, there's no like rhyme or reason to it. It just happens. So
yeah,
you don't overthink it too much.
It must be like it always. does depend. Like maybe the Mahomes zone or like no, you see that doesn't even make sense. Like normally it's the quarterback that you're pushing because there's so
Mhm.
many like stack options and no one else would want that player. But like
Mhm.
you don't need to like have Mahomes to get worthy. I mean, they're probably
Yeah.
rarely even like stacked up.
Mhm.
Less than like the majority of the time. So
Yeah. Anything in the league chat to catch up on?
nope, nothing yet. Just Green Bean was saying that he likes the right side and he's the left. So he goes. I mean, he's picking some players that like. I mean, I'm definitely a fan of just like looking at the players and not really looking at the construction.
Okay.
I mean, I obviously love Jaden Daniels at pick 107.
Oh
Tajay
yeah.
Spears,
Nice.
I've been clicking on a lot.
Okay.
Let's quickly come back here.
Mhm.
So it is like ADP time for like Tua and Goff, but like there's better quarterbacks on the board. We don't even need to worry about that, and we
Okay.
have we whatever we have one of their best pass catchers in each
Yeah.
scenario. For construction, dude, this could be like a 6 wide receiver team, honestly.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I think
pretty nice wide receiver room there.
unless there's something like that really stands out, let's
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Can we just kind of like slam running back at this point, and then mix
yeah
in like a QB and tight end where value falls?
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah. What would be your running back of choice here?
I mean, it would have to
Charbonnet.
be Charbonnet because of the
Okay.
bring back, and that's extremely valuable if we're
Yeah.
ever gonna win any money on this.
Okay. Yeah. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. I mean, I just think Charbonnet is just standalone is a great pick, anyways.
Yeah.
Um, the coaching staff change, and
Right.
there's so much that can happen that he just goes out there and is in a pretty good offense. So
Yeah, I think
just
he's
passes.
kind of one of those players that I'm like really interested, like what he'll do this season.
Yeah.
He's just kind of a mystery. I mean, you kind of put him in that same category as like Dontavian Wicks, like we were talking earlier, just like kind of a wide range of outcomes. It feels like.
Yeah, I mean, he quite literally could be like a 0 technically
Sure.
because he's just like
Yeah.
getting 5
Arb-
points a game.
right.
But
It was weird last season how he was getting like a lot of snaps, but not many
yeah,
touches. So,
hey,
I'm not sure really what to make of that.
yeah, I mean, you could say he sucks. He isn't going to be used in the right role, but then there's like
Right.
the new coaching staff. So
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot you could make of it, I guess. But so here's
Yeah, and the Seahawks are expected to pass more. So I mean, Charbonnet would seem to have that more of that receiving skill than Kenneth Walker.
yeah.
I kind of like Kenny McIntosh a little too. I mean, I'm not sure he's like someone you're drafting, but just kind of an interesting guy and a good pass catcher.
I mean, definitely like not in best ball, but
Yeah.
like I mean, I had him on a couple rosters at different
Yeah,
points.
yeah.
What do you think for this pick here? By the way, also Ricky Pearsall kind of played it into something, but we're pretty good at receiver.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna start some guys real quick.
Yeah, I like Marshawn Lloyd. I think that'd be a rock solid pick. I'd be
Oh.
happy with Goff or Tua.
Yeah, I'm just like
We push QB.
yeah, we can push QB. I don't mind missing out on them.
Okay.
I think like we could still play into like Seattle, and then Moore's the bring back. Worst case because I actually kind of like let's go Lloyd. I actually kind of like Gino and Fant like at their price too, and
Oh yeah, I love Noah Fant. I mean, I have a bunch of dynasty shares of him. So
yeah, like we have Sharp, so like we're betting
yeah.
against the receivers.
Hey, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like that'd be a nice pair of
Could be
Iowa
unique.
tight ends there with Laporta and Fant. I mean, that's a pretty nice tight end room there.
Yeah, could be a nice trio of those receivers if we go get my boy Eric All, but
There you go.
yeah, don't think we'll do that one.
Yeah,
this
that'd be
time,
the ultimate. Yeah.
You know what's something else I was considering is like if we played the McCarthy, like we played the Viking side of this
Mhm.
with like our receiver room and Laporta. I mean, holy crap! Like getting like Hawkinson would be like. I don't want to say
Yeah.
he's like an awesome pick, but if you can play like your tight end room enough, like quick enough, and you just feel like you could survive 6 weeks with whatever. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
the least important position. And you get
Right.
Hawkinson at like 148. I mean, dude, that's
Right.
like free. I mean, he's going beside Musgrave. I don't know, man.
You
Musgrave
got to
I
roll
wanna
the
throw
dice on
up.
Hawkinson and hope that even if he's only at like 80% or whatever, he's still probably better than Musgrave.
Yeah. I mean, I think he'd be good on one leg. Better than
Yeah,
Musgrave.
right.
But Musgrave runs around like he's got one leg. He's like falling all over the place and stuff. But
Right.
let's check in on Green Bean here. See how he's doing.
Yeah.
So he's a black badge, by the way. I'm trying to remember. I think black is 500. I can't remember if it's 500 or 1,000.
Okay, but it's a lot.
Yeah, he's definitely had his fair share of drafts.
Yeah.
So let's actually just look at his team the right way here.
Yeah. Kind of get a better sense of the roster construction and what he's going for here.
It's so annoying when it just doesn't. Someone's about to pick and then it's gonna go away. So he's rocking 1 QB right now with Jane Daniels.
Yep.
I've done that quite a few times, and then you can get your back stacks.
I kind of like the running back room. I mean, obviously, Brooks is coming back from the ACL, but there's 4 nice running backs there, though.
This is the legendary upside RB room here.
Yep. I mean, ETN could just get a ton of touches this season, and hopefully they're a little more efficient than they were last season. I feel like the Jags made some effort to improve their offensive line, which I think was pretty bad last season. So I like ETN quite a bit in any redraft league.
Yeah, I honestly, ETN might be the guy where I played too much into the Tank Bigsby and stuff like that, and I completely faded him. And now I'm just I don't know, do I just gotta stick by that and be someone's gonna take his touches, or is he just gonna keep?
No, I think he could be a touch monster this season. So yeah, I'm all in on ETN. If for redraft or if you're contending in Dynasty, I think he's a nice win now running back.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I definitely like the way he played the running back, quarterback so far. I mean, obviously we have to see with his other quarterbacks, but okay, wait, hold on. We're coming up here, so we gotta lock in.
Yeah, I gotta focus here.
I mean, dude, we took Jefferson before. I'm just making sure this guy doesn't have. Yeah, we should get Goff.
Okay. I love that.
If we don't get Goff, someone just completely burnt a pick. So.
Yeah.
And then if they don't take Goff, we could.
Jalen Wright.
We could just do a bet on Miami just in general.
Oh yeah, I mean I love Jalen Wright in general, so you don't have to talk me into him at all.
Yeah, I mean I would not be opposed to that.
I mean I'd love having the Goff Laporta stack. I mean I know I'm a Lions homer, but
Yeah, someone just completely torches a pick. I mean, oh my god.
Hey, I'm happy to fall back on Jalen Wright. It's not a bad consolation prize.
Yeah. We're playing.
And all of a sudden, our running back room looks pretty good. I mean, I don't mind that running back room at all.
Yeah, that just sucks though.
Yeah.
And then Gino goes, dude. The backup plan, which is he got picked 20 picks ahead of ADP. What are we?
Okay, so what are our quarterback options for later? Stafford.
So, okay, I need to talk you into something, but we honestly got to wait. Not that Green Bean. I don't know. I think he might be in the running for the same. Yeah, I gotta wait. We'll see what he does, but I don't think the ADP is even gonna. No, it will. Okay, I have a backup plan. Okay, it perfectly fits into our construction.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think you'll be opposed to it, but I'm trying to remember who they're. I mean, yeah, we won't have a bring back, but.
So, what are we thinking for our construction at this point? Is this going to be are we going to go three QBs at this point?
Yeah, we gotta go 3 QBs at this point. I think here. I mean, our RBs are good enough, so I think we can go 2 tight end. Probably 6 receiver. I mean, I'm trying to even do the math. I think we'll have an extra pick to just play around with.
Yeah, maybe just take value at whatever position it happens to be.
Yeah, it could just be yeah, we'll just see what the hell.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah. I do have a little bit of a backup plan. Also the Denver's a really easy stackable, but I just Troy Franklin is
Yeah.
Not a big fan, but I mean there's Thielen and we could. Oh yeah, we do have Rashad White. We could always go. I didn't even think about that. Bryce Young and Thielen.
Or what about is Jalen McMillan still on the board?
He is.
Yeah, but he's down there a bit. Okay, so yeah, that's someone.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like what? Oh yeah, Baker's up there too.
Oh yeah, so we're on the clock. So what are we doing?
Fuck. I don't know. We gotta go what? Quarterback? No, I don't even know, dude. What are we thinking here?
But somebody.
Yeah, let's look up
Do you
Thielen,
want-
I guess. Honestly, like in my head, so I just completely missed it. This was my backup plan. My backup plan was gonna be like just spam click Ray Davis, like worst case, but like that was not the plan. The plan was
Okay.
to go Hunter Henry and then stack him with Jake May. Um, and then that blew up when I didn't realize it. And then I was like, oh, like we can get Baker Mayfield. But then like, I don't know. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, I feel like we probably should have taken a QB there, don't you think?
Probably, but oh yeah, we gotta wait picks. I didn't realize I thought we were on like the short turn there.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So I mean oh no, we're not even on a turn. Sorry, we're just like in the middle.
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah, 7 spot. Yeah.
I think somehow we'll be all right here because
Okay.
we could still take Bryce Young now. Like we
Yeah,
could still
stack him
take
with
Baker,
Right.
and then we could also, if we get Baker, we can go McMillan. So
Yeah, get the $3 with Rashad White, and who obviously is a pass catching back. So that's kind of it's nice stacking a running back that when obviously the running back catches passes like Rashad White. So I think that'd be a nice stack to have.
yeah, like Kate Otten is still there. I don't know if it'll like work out with all the picks we need, but he'll be out there running routes. And if we got Baker,
Yeah, I guess you could talk
I-
me into it. It's not real exciting, but it makes sense with the stack.
yeah,
I could.
I mean, yeah, I'm not
Mhm.
gonna definitely like try to push you into that, but I think if it just like works out, it works out.
Yeah, if he falls at a value or whatever, yeah, we could do that.
So yeah, let's go ahead and start Baker just in case. I mean, again, I'll start Bryce Young.
I mean, can we still take McMillan, or would we have too many
yeah.
receivers?
No, McMillan would be perfect because then we got the three Tampas, and then we got to bring back with Thielen.
Okay, so I mean, would be okay. Like, yeah, I was talking about 3 QBs, 2 tight ends, and then are we pretty much done at running back?
We could be done at running back for sure if we need to be. Like
Okay.
that's a pretty good upside
Yeah, I think so.
room. Like how we and then if we want to go Foreman or something later because like he does play into a little bit week 17 stuff.
Wait, how many picks do we have left here?
We have I think 4 left.
4 left.
Yeah.
4. Okay.
So
All right, so we need 2 QBs, and we need a tight end, and then the last one will be, I guess, either be a running back or receiver.
yeah, we gotta pray Baker comes here. Honestly, if he doesn't go here, I don't even know what the hell we're gonna do. Like it's just...
Yeah, I mean, what are we gonna do? I mean, do we almost like need to take a QB at our next pick, no matter what?
I mean, there would be no point to taking Bryce Young, I don't think, but
Okay.
like we could wait. I mean, I don't know. There's just like so many other quarterbacks. Like we just randomly take like I don't know. Like
I mean, how many QBs left
Okay.
are there left at this point?
I don't know. Am I crazy? Like I see Derek Carr and like obviously you need a saint, but I'm just like I don't feel bad. Is he like maybe that's like I need to start taking like Shaheed or something because like I just don't even feel bad about clicking Carr in like the last round
Yeah, I don't hate it.
because he'll just be out there and like having a couple games and I don't know. I mean, again, we're talking the last round, so it's
Yeah, I mean, he ended last season hot, so I don't know. Like
Exactly.
maybe
that's all I can think about. That's literally all I can think about. Is like, oh,
Right.
dude, he threw 11 touchdowns in like 3 games or something. So
Right, so he's gonna do that all of this season now, right? It was a sign
Yeah.
of things to come.
No, but I'm just like, okay, now when I need it, like, he'll just throw like 3 touchdowns again, and
Right.
he's like, okay, he'll be in there like for like 3 games, like 3 starts,
Yeah.
and that's all you need. But yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
so here's an interesting thing: if we went another running back, I mean, we probably wouldn't get the chance, but like. Mitchell is a Niner, and hey, it's a late season thing. Maybe like McCaffrey's down. I know that you were like questioning that Mitchell's like the backup, but I was already like pretty confident that Mitchell is the backup. And then I also heard like someone else that like I think it's like pretty sharp talking about it, and they're just like I don't know. And as long as this guy's on the roster, like he's gonna be like the guy. It's just how it seems to have been.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's probably the backup, but it just seems like he's injured so often that like. When he does get a chance, because CMC's banged up or whatever, then it just seems like Mitchell's like also hurt, and then it ends up being like Jordan Mason or some
Yeah.
like random guy or whatever. Maybe it's gonna be like Cody Schrader out of nowhere. Like there's just so many guys there. They got, they drafted Isaac Guerrero in the fourth, so just so many different guys there that like it could be. But I agree, like Elijah Mitchell is the favorite to be the RB2, but when he's healthy.
Oh my god, what am I doing for construction? Oh my god, did I sell? Okay, wait. I don't know. I just clicked McMillan. Like we weren't even thinking about that because we panic clicked Theo. we got distracted. I got distracted.
Wait, and when did we get Baker?
We got him our last pick.
Somehow I missed that. When did that happen?
He was the only guy left in like or whatever. He was like the only guy that we could even.
Okay, pick. So you just clicked him and we didn't talk about it. Okay.
I may have just sold. Hey, unique build time with like ultra stacked receiver. Maybe McMillan's the guy you need. I think we're fine. We need that pick at RB. I think that one right there. But again, I mean, maybe we should have taken Herbert. I don't know. Whatever.
How many? So wait, do we have 2 picks left?
Yeah, we got 2 picks left.
Okay, so we gotta go QB and tight end.
Wait, I got it. I got it for us right here.
Come on. Okay, the closer.
Hold on.
Closer. Oh, don't tell me Derek Carr. Oh my god,
hold on.
Hilarious. That's hilarious. You found a way to do it.
Just wait. Juwan, I mean, this guy in week 17 you need. Or week 14,
I mean, every year in the fantasy playoffs, he just suddenly gets hot.
I need to stop clicking on the receiver position. It's just like a habit, You're just like, who's the next guy I can take?
Right.
I feel good about this receiver room. Is all I can say. I feel good about everything else. But dude, honestly, I do think Carr's like the way to play it, and then just Juwan. I don't know. I mean,
I don't mind that at all. I think it's pretty awesome, actually.
My other idea would just be like, hey, screw it, Justin Fields, like, just throw an absolute prayer on him,
right?
And hope he drops 40 points at some point. But because we have Juwan stacked, I mean, hey.
Yeah, I think if we get Juwan and Derek Carr, I think that makes a lot of sense, and I'm good with that. I think that kind of solves everything for us, gives us that QB3 and tight end 2 that we need. So I think it's perfect.
It's gonna be tight for ADP.
Okay.
I think we have to take Carr. I mean, we can look at who has Olave, I guess.
Do you think if we you think if we take Carr that like people won't be as interested in drafting Juwan, or more so the other way around?
I do think we gotta go. Oh my god. You know what? I think we gotta go. No, I don't know what I'm saying. Like, because we could always fall back to Fields and just like have a naked.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, are there any other good tight ends available?
Not really. Like, I mean, Kraft is hurt pectoral though.
Colby Parkinson, my guy.
Oh no.
And what about Jelani Woods? I mean, I know we don't have him stacked, but Tucker Kraft is available. Although I know like
he's got a pectoral injury.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a pretty surgery. If we went to Juwan, we can at least like 3 quarterbacks that I'm fine with that will be there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Hey, let's just.
I mean, I'd be okay. I'd be fine falling back on Jelani Woods or Colby Parkinson, but I see your logic there.
Yeah.
But I just wonder, like, if we took Carr, then like, people would just be like, I don't want to unstack Juwan Johnson, So I don't know if that increased our odds. You kind of argue it either way.
Someone like, yeah, I think normally I'd want to go Carr, but I just am fine with like, I don't know, just like playing crazy at quarterback with like the Justin Fields thing, which is like
just kind of taking a gamble.
It's kind of just like a joke, but I mean, when you don't even have like a rushing quarterback and then you have a build like this, I kind of think it's like
gives you some upside there. Yeah, I think you kind of make a good point there. So I wouldn't hate it, and it is our 3rd QB, so it's like we're relying on him for a ton of production. I mean, I think Baker and Jordan Love should get us by just fine for the most part.
Yeah, and like we're already invested in those offenses like that, so I think it'll bounce around like whatever, if it's not like a great game for one of them, and maybe Rashad White has a good game, blah blah blah. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Fields just feels like that's how you win 1.5 million over.
I see. Yeah, I can definitely understand that argument.
Yeah. I mean, if Derek Carr is still there, I think I don't know. Like, have I just like talked us into like just picking Fields randomly, or like both of them make correlated. So
Right.
it just if we had Shahid or something, it would be obvious to just take Carr. But
I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, how often is Jawan really going to make our lineup with like Laporta there? So it's like
probably
I guess
like he could be there. I mean, I know Laporta. Like, I mean, what if he's his bye week or something random? But like,
right, yeah.
a couple
I
weeks.
mean, Laporta's going to have like a random down game
Yeah.
here and there. I mean, for sure. But
So,
yeah.
Are you saying Fields then? Because you're like, who can... Oh, never mind.
Oh, he just went. Okay, so that made it easy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good with Carr. I mean, hey, that's what we originally wanted. So I think that's awesome that it fell to us.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's no way he's not.
Does it make more sense than JJ McCarthy? Just because he's playing more games?
I think I don't know. Yeah, we have Jordan Love. We have a lot of people in that game. I think it kind of lacks our upside. We don't have a Raider, I guess, but yeah, Derek Carr is going to be playing. At least he can help our advance rate at that point.
Yeah, I think in best ball you just want the guy that's starting more.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, probably JJ McCarthy's ceiling like in a weekly is like the same as like Derek Carr's, honestly. So
yeah, it's probably not that much different. I mean, neither are going to be rushing the ball a lot. Although I guess you could argue McCarthy can do it a little bit, but he's not going to be doing a ton.
Yeah, no, he certainly can. But I mean, I definitely messed that up with the McMillan pick. But man, we got. I mean, that Goff, like, maybe it is Laporta, but like, the stupid Laporta. But
So wait, what was wrong with the McMillan pick? Didn't we want him?
No, we did, but I for construction, I think it just would have been a little more optimal to go.
Oh, running back.
Yeah, I mean, either pick. I don't think Odd was there was the problem because I would have been really happy to actually just end up taking Odd in there. And then,
so what happened? We didn't realize we were on the clock, or you just forgot about the construction?
I just forgot that we had taken Thielen. Was the
problem. Okay. Oh yeah. So yeah, we didn't need Thielen and McMillan, but hey, like it does make us kind of unique, and I mean we're beyond loaded at wide receiver, so it's kind of a fun team.
Like at least like I can tell us a story like, again for advanced rate stuff like Thielen early season, and then boom like we're the McMillan can and these guys are playing each other week 17, so there is some stuff that. I can talk myself into, and yeah. Does anyone have this wide receiver room or anything close to this?
Yeah,
probably not.
Yeah, I think that's just cool to like get something like that distinguishes us from the field. So I think it's a really cool and fun team.
Yeah, like Dobbs and the other guy there were Worthy were like pretty big followers. So let's take a look at what's his faces here.
Green Bean, yeah.
View full draft. Let's see what he ended up with. Now that we can I hate how it just like pops his like roster away. Okay, so this like might be like my quarterback room. I haven't been like clicking a lot of Cousins just because I don't know. I mean, I haven't been like drafting a lot of like Falcons. Like I basically just haven't been drafting Pitts. But I think Kirk Cousins is a great pick in any format. I mean, I guess super flex, but.
Yeah, I mean, he just like always produces, just like year in, year out. He just never really seems to get the appreciation he deserves.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of going into an extremely similar situation anyways this next year. I mean, the coaching thing being the most different. But, yeah, I'm fine with that quarterback room. For like, if I was, like, drafting, I think that's, like, exactly how I'd attack it if I went Daniels early. So I definitely am a fan of that. We like the running backs. He goes Jaleel to finish it off. With a fifth one, probably a pretty good compliment to the other running back room. Like maybe he has a big game, and these other guys.
Yeah,
we'll definitely see some volume. What else here? So he's a big Trey Tucker guy. I think he took Trey.
Oh yeah, he's got him before, right? Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, we have some more guys.
Receiver room is like pretty polarizing because it's like. You have like three guys that you're just like I don't even know what to expect. Maybe they just keep bouncing, and then
but I mean I think in best ball, I mean I think you're good with that. I mean you're just hoping to get those spike weeks. It doesn't matter when they come.
I think the only issue I have with this, I mean I love the first two picks, is that like I don't feel great about these guys' floors. Like they're a little more attractive when you go heavier wide receiver and you don't draft the two running backs earlier. So. I mean, this is a big bet on Christian Watson in this case then, because like I just have no confidence Jameson Williams being there every week. I mean,
Yeah.
Dotson is stacked, of course, and whatnot. So
So you're saying like when you take like 2 running backs early, you're kind of like you want like safer receivers then after that
I
for a
think you
little
need to
bit.
consider it for like advancing.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
because
Yeah.
it's one thing in week 17. Like this would be great in week 17,
Mhm.
but you do have to get there, and
Right.
you need to have like you start 4 receivers like most weeks. So
Right.
I mean, I totally get it though. If you're just banking on Wilson and Pittman and your running backs and whatnot, then hey, you just need one of these 3 guys to make your lineup, or these other guys maybe sneak in there.
Yeah.
I think for advanced rates, it's a little sketchy, but
Mhm.
hey, again, I think you can just always fall back to like the fact that you're drafting with like 700,000 people, so you kind of gotta
Yeah.
do crazy stuff.
But I mean, those are three
I think that's
receivers that I do generally like in best ball, and Christian Watson, Jameson Williams, and Jahan Dotson, because like they're all like high upside,
yeah,
high weekly upside, and you're not sure exactly when those spike weeks might come. So, um, yeah, I see your point about going with the 2 running backs early. Maybe you want more of a floor, but I do like those guys in best ball, so I do think those are at least solid picks.
yeah, and then you go down to Pitts. Oh, he's the one I got Otten.
Oh, okay.
Um, Probably like honestly a decent way to play this room. Like I don't know if Pitts is like the greatest. I'm so torn on Pitts. Like I still feel good about him in Dynasty because he's like
Mhm.
not that expensive, but you just keep getting burned every year.
I know,
And
but
then
I
it's
mean,
like
if
Cousins, it's like
if Pitts
awesome.
is healthy though, I think he's going to be good. I mean, he's just like,
Yeah,
I mean, as long as Cousins is healthy too.
yeah.
So I mean, I guess we're starting to add up the ifs here, but
I think they
I think
will.
Pitts is going to be good this year.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I literally need Kirk Cousins if I'm getting Pitts, and he did that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
You also got the sack with Mooney, so that's kind of nice. You got the
oh
double foul.
yeah, no, yeah. I definitely like the way he played that there. He's been a hard click for me
Yeah.
because I guess I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm not getting too much Kirk Cousins as well.
Okay.
But
Yeah, because you're not taking Pitts.
yeah, Chig like again, just like a guy that's gonna be running routes, athletic, and then on again running routes. So like pretty good way to play it. I like the 3 tight ends when you have
Mhm.
Pitts, like personally. Um, so overall pretty solid. Let's see. I can't remember if he was like a big correlation bro last time.
Mhm.
So Washington and Atlanta. So he went like both got quarterbacks in the game. I can't remember if that's like. I mean, again, there's probably such a small sample size in like week 17, but obviously each game with quarterbacks playing each other.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's like the data like backs that one up because that's why I was a little sketch on McCarthy. So I'm thinking it wouldn't, but I mean, does that really matter? Who knows? Um, we're literally talking about week 17, which you have like such a small chance of getting into anyways.
Right.
So yeah, he's played pretty heavily in that Washington Atlanta game. What else? Anything else?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't really have like the week
Oh
17 schedule memorized. You probably know it better than me.
yeah, he's got a Carolina in a back door there with or whatever like the mini stack with Otten,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
then I don't think he has any Saints. So a good portion of his lineup still ended up being, and then I think he has his Jags in Tennessee. So
Mhm.
he still fitted in there. Um, Somehow. So yeah, the wide receiver room, of course, will make and break if that receiver room busts out. I mean,
Right.
I definitely like the way I like every other position, but that's obviously my biggest question. And
Yeah.
hey, Trey Tucker, we gotta change that into Greg Dortch right now. Yeah, we just cannot be. I mean, I don't know if he got drafted, but I gotta talk you into the Greg Dortch, buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely like Greg Dortch here on the Dynasty Savvy. So, yeah, always had a kind of a soft spot for him. Yeah, I haven't been like too big on like Trey Tucker, but he has been getting like a little bit of buzz lately, and they're saying he's going to start in like 3 wide receiver sets. So I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, so could Greg Dortch. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, I mean Dortch. I'm definitely expecting him to be a starter. I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess he can't completely like write off his A Jones, but like, I just think at this point, like, they're just gonna finally buy into Dortch that like he just always produces when he gets the chance. Like, how much longer can you deny the guy? I think
Yeah.
he's gonna be
Hey,
out there
if,
as starting receiver.
if he was 6'5", he'd be Megatron. So
Yeah,
that was
right.
Kyler Murray's
Oh, okay. Is that
exact
his
words.
comment? All
That's one of
right.
his exact words. So I mean, I
All
like
right.
hearing that.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
see what he said here. So
Yeah. Might be a
no,
small exaggeration, but yeah.
so he was early in between that Pacheco and ETN. ETN's higher in ADP, so I mean generally you try to even out your exposure. Okay, I see. So yeah, that makes sense. I think ETN's higher. Um, so fun draft, guys. Yeah, I mean, hey, I did appreciate you coming back here again. Obviously, again, it's so much fun like drafting with another person in there too, and then having you snipe us. Let us know if we got you because like we would have been picking. Again, 3 picks ahead of you. So let us know if we took anyone you wanted or were really locked into. But yeah, your receiver room. So you missed out on Leggett. Yeah, again, I don't know. Yeah, if you get Leggett and like swap a couple other picks around or something, probably feels better, like looks better, just as another kind of I don't know receiver where hey, you can bet on that Carolina offense a little bit with those rookies and I don't know, just get another explosive guy in there. Um, yeah, Leggett. Side note, I'm terrified in Dynasty, but like, hey, if I'm playing that game in best ball, I, I don't know. It feels so weird to me. I'm willing to throw my money at Leggett in best
Yeah.
ball.
Well, because like in best ball, like you're trying to beat the whole field, so it's a lot easier to just say like, the hell with it, just kind of roll the dice on something, even knowing like it's probably not going to work out. But that's just sort of like the
You
nature of the
just
game. You just know you have to take those gambles. So I think that's why it's easier.
Yeah, I honestly just think he's like mispriced. I mean, from the
Okay.
fact that what we've seen from I don't know. I mean, what's the name? I guess Jamison Williams is like the low hanging fruit like every time because
Right. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean
We're always,
because
yeah, we're always just banging on Jameson Williams.
and we were
A
just
punching
considering
bag.
taking him that draft, but then Green Bay took him. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like Leggett probably like has way better like season upside. I mean, like without a doubt. I mean, just based off what we've seen and how these offenses could run. I mean, Leggett could be. I mean, I guess Deontay Johnson's the guy, but I don't know. I think like 137, in this wide receiver economy, is pretty solid.
Mhm.
So anyway, side note on that, but spike weeks, you'll correlate playoffs if you can, but not in playlist. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think like where I'm like different, and Dan, you can chip in if you want here, is like I don't care as much about the playoff weeks in like the lower like the puppies and stuff. I'm willing just to take the values because like those are like the little snapshot tournaments where people can't if you get a rookie at a good price, then people can't they can't go back and like draft that rookie higher or whatever player X and player Z, but it's just like there's way less teams, so I don't really care about like completely correlating everything. But when you actually go back and look at like the teams that have won, I mean, and actually been in like week 17 and whatever. I don't know. It's like pretty overwhelming. Like every team is just like completely loaded to week 17, and then all the winning teams are just again like prioritized.
Mhm.
That and like really heavily. So
Okay.
I mean, I'm definitely week 17, bro, when it comes to that, or at least like anything playoff week if I can remember the other weeks. So
So you're saying like based on the results you've seen of like the winners that it's validated that like
because there's 700,000 teams or whatever, just
yeah.
under. Because if you don't like completely give you every single chance of like and again you don't need to like force it, but like you need to
Yeah.
like completely definitely consider it. If you
Right.
don't do it, someone else has, and
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's my little like rant for best ball mania. That's how I prefer it.
So you're saying like the winners usually have it from what you've seen.
Yeah, I mean you already. I guess it's like hey, I wasn't gonna win anyways. Like let me correlate heavy, and then if I get there, you know, I'm not playing for 300th place. I'm playing for
Yeah.
first.
Right.
So and that's what the data has been. The people that have getting there at least are sharp drafters, and they've been heavily correlating for week 17. So I don't know if that like makes. I wouldn't say it makes you have a better like advance rate, but that just seems to be what all the sharps have been doing, and it's been working. So
Okay.
I'm willing to listen on that and try to copy them. But
Yeah.
you're 50. best ball mania is deep, and you've never been a Deontay guy, but yeah, so you got plenty. You just don't worry about too much at the moment. Okay, yeah, I mean, when you're drafting earlier too, maybe this plays into you. Is that if you have like certain player takes where you want to get like your exposures up, you think a guy's mispriced, then I could see like just not caring as much about week 17. Like, you know what I'm saying, Dan? Where
Mhm.
I mean, after training camp, guys can jump up so much, and
Right.
this might be your only chance right now to get them 30 picks later than they're going to be going in a few weeks, or whatever. So
Yeah, I mean, a lot can change as training camp starts, and then like the preseason games get going. So, a lot will change with ADP, I'm sure, and so it's definitely something to, like, keep in mind. But also at the same time, like, you can only predict it so much. But
yeah,
yeah, it's something you always gotta kind of keep it in the back of your mind,
yeah.
because if people get better deals later, then it can kind of mess you up. So.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. No, I'm not saying that you didn't stack at all. I mean, that like actually like probably like half your lineup is like correlated in week 17 somehow, or just like a bet like again like Detroit, and then you don't have a Niner, but then you got like a bunch of Titans and Atlanta. Literally all your tight ends are correlated and stuff like that. So I mean, I was just wondering in general if you're like a big week 17 bro, green bean, in your 50 drafts. Like how you've been playing it in BBM is what I'm more so curious about is all. But yeah, so how did that feel? Like, how do we feel about our draft?
I like it. I mean, I feel like things fell into place pretty nicely. I mean, it seems like we're really not like weak anywhere. I mean, I feel good about like all of our different positions and like what we came away with. I mean, would have been nice to get some like rushing upside at the QB spot somehow.
Yeah,
Uh, it just didn't quite work out, but I don't think it's the end of the world. But I really like this team. It seems very well balanced and a lot of upside.
yeah. Like, I don't love just Jordan Love and Baker, so obviously adding like just Derek Carr as a guy that can fill in a few times is great.
Yep.
And then yeah, we got Juwan. So yeah, probably instead of I don't know, instead of Thielen, if we got a running back.
Right. Yeah, it would have been a little better.
And I was looking at running back, and it was just like Bucky Irving, and I know that you're like not a big fan, but he did
Right.
kind of play into our oh yeah, we have a Rashad White, so like
Yeah, so that would have been
God.
great. So
yeah, thank God.
yeah, maybe it was just kind of meant to be to work out this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
Thielen will give us some of those early season spike weeks that we'll be grateful for, and we'll be glad it worked out that way. So yeah, I really like the team a lot. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the only thing I would have flipped was we take Cade Otton ahead of ADP,
Okay.
and then Green Bay got him, and then we get Foreman instead of
Right.
maybe like I don't know, instead of Thielen, I guess, because we wouldn't have Thielen.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
have Foreman for that early season production, and then let these
Yeah.
guys break out.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Yeah,
I think
agree
that's
with
like,
you.
yeah, I
One
think that
thing.
would have been the optimal like for considering what we have, because we do have two rookie running backs that could be like basically
Yeah.
zeros. So
Yeah, they could be. Yeah, and Charbonnet's risky, so yeah, we're really going to have to like rely on White and Warren early in the season. So it's it's a little dicey there, but yeah, so still nice, really nice team overall.
yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, we kind of made a mistake with that, but hey,
Yeah, what are you going to do?
let's ride. Let's get Charbonnet season out here. He's pretty
There we
much going
go.
to be the X factor. If it's
All
Charb's
right,
here,
yeah.
we're good. But let's see. Okay, yeah, so you got you. Yeah, I was just curious, especially when I was drafting with other guys too. I was just curious of how much they want to correlate in week 17 and in playoffs and whatnot. So I don't know, Dan. Are we good to wrap it up here?
I think so. Yeah. But yeah, this was super fun. I mean, it's awesome seeing guys in here that like were here last week. So just great having so much conversation in the league chat. So thank you so much for joining us. Super fun, and yeah, we look forward to more of these. I mean, Blake, we were talking about maybe like at some point, kind of maybe as we get into August or as the season gets closer, we might start trying to stream like more than once a week. So still something we're figuring out, but at least for the moment, we're definitely gonna be doing this every Wednesday night. Really enjoy these, and yeah, can't wait to do more of these.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I've always thought about just like randomly like firing up a draft, like and seeing if anyone else did want to jump in, but I'm gonna have some free time, but I haven't had too much, so I don't know. Maybe
But yeah,
keep an eye
I
out. We
mean,
might just start a random one up if you got no
oh yeah,
idea.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll just kind of do some like random, kind of pop up live streams, just like some random time where like you and I both have like nothing to do, and like, hey, yeah, let's live stream an underdog draft. So,
Yeah.
yeah, keep a lookout. Hit the notification bell if you want to be like notified when we do something like that. But either way, we'll definitely be doing these every Wednesday, and yeah, just really enjoy these Wednesday night live streams.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, listen to Green Bean here, boys. Just or girls, hit that like button.
Oh heck yeah,
Yeah, no, dude. I appreciate like seeing the same faces like kind of jump in here is awesome to see.
yeah,
So shout out, Green Bean who hopped in here right away, Andy James, and I'm not sure there's another one.
yeah. But I think James was here last week too, wasn't he?
Yeah, Andy
Yeah,
was too. A week or two ago, and
yeah,
so good to see you guys back. And yeah, I mean, definitely keep an eye out. I mean, I don't know how like the notification system works in YouTube or even that even is a thing on here, but like we
right.
might just like fire up some random other drafts. So if you are interested in joining in or something, it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt to like keep an eye out for that. If we just like go rogue and don't just go with our little Wednesday schedule, but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be back next Wednesday for sure.
Yeah. And let us know if there are any like topics you want us to talk about. We always like to kind of have a little conversation before jumping into the underdog draft. So usually something dynasty related, but if you have any other suggestions of, if you want us to discuss some kind of best ball topic or just kind of like regular lineup redraft topic as we kind of, get into that season or get closer to it. Yeah, let us know if there's anything you want to hear us discuss on the channel. But really appreciate all your support and look forward to seeing you guys on future streams.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's dynasty or not. Just if you want any topic, let us
Yeah,
know. And yeah,
absolutely.
no, definitely like having us in here. And yeah, thanks for joining the draft again. Good luck to us. 1.5 million, baby.
Yeah,
That's
do it. Bring home that money.
yeah. So yeah, let's end it here, and good stream.
Heck yeah. Peace out.